Maybe it's sexy anyways. Good morning, friends.
Good
Welcome.
morning. How are y'all?
We were yapping, so we just got here. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for
John
being here.
is currently experiencing the results of his weekend choices.
Yeah,
So,
yes, yes,
excuse
yes.
us in advance for any nose blowing that happens during this stream.
Yes, for sure. I
Um,
got to see it.
Today, we are going to be chatting about choices. I'm super excited. Well,
Yeah.
I'm always excited to be here with y'all and yapping with John.
Oh, yeah. This is always a highlight of my week. You guys, this woman that y'all see on the other side of the screen. I can't tell you. My right. It might be y'all up. I don't know what's showing. I am so lucky to be able to hang out with this lady. Uh, there are people, and I've not met her in person. That's the fucking crazy shit. I mean, one day when I get to Chicago, I'm gonna just surprise her and just either drive down or fly, uh, or figure out how to.
Or I'm
She
gonna
lives
go up
south of my
there.
parents.
We're gonna figure something
Yeah,
out.
but she's dope, and I say this and I brag about her because I met her through some access class. I think with Sarah Grandinetti. I think that's how we met, and we just hit it off immediately. And it's almost like here's the piece about it, being open to, how do I say, just being open to living. You don't know how many of
Mhm.
you guys out there, I know we're going to talk about choice, but how many of you guys are open to realizing that life is more broader than what you ever fucking imagined? That space. And if you're willing to be open to that space, then you will be able to allow people into your world like Lila that are huge fucking contributions. And if you don't have those individuals in your world, what would it take? Good morning, Brenda. What would it take for you to be open to that space? Just lowering your barriers. I've just asked you guys during the day, just lower your barriers and tap into us and see what you pick up. See how, and then also then tap into other people around you that are dying to be a contribution. I'm not going to talk about them idiots that you float around, the stupids, but that's another show. But choice.
If you're
What do you
new
know
to
about choice?
access and you have no clue what lowering your barriers are, I'm going to give you two ways that you can do this. The first is to engage your inner child and just imagine. Imagine you have these walls around you and just see them go down into the floor and now they're gone.
There you
There's
go.
that. Or if you take a moment, close your eyes, breathe, and feel your body. Notice anywhere where you are tight and tense in your body and deliberately release that. It's another way. Lower barriers.
And don't judge that space. Just notice what you notice in that space. Is it more relaxing? Is it more tight? Because a lot of times when I say lower barriers, I sense that when people, I can see other bodies, they're sometimes they lower it and they go, oh no, 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 and then they do this dance, and so that's fine because it takes some time to get to the point where you're actually feeling real comfortable with yourself. Because the number one thing that starts to show up when you lower your barriers is this curse word that starts with a V: vulnerability. That
Nobody likes it there.
nobody, but it's magical in that space, quite magical.
We can talk
But
about vulnerability
choice,
in the future. That'll be fun.
yes.
Um, so this came up for me for two reasons. One, because when I first heard like Gary and Dane talking about choice, oh, just choose. My brain was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, what is just? I don't. I don't have $10,000 in the bank. I can't just go out and buy a car. I don't have $40,000 in the bank. I can't just go out and buy a car. What do you mean, just choose? Like, that makes no sense to me. When I was in my apartment house shopping, oh, just choose a new house. That makes no fucking sense to me. None whatsoever. And so, over the last 3 years, I'm kind of grasping this choice thing. And it's essentially what John and I have been talking about for the last few weeks of like just one more step.
Hmm.
So if I want a house and I live in an apartment and I don't know how I'm going to get the house, I decide if I want to rent a house or buy a house. And I decide where I want said house to be. And I perceive the energy of the house that would be the most nourishing for me and my family. And then I house shop. And I also figure out what my credit needs. I figure out what kind of down payment I need. I figure out if there are first time homebuyer programs. I am scrolling Facebook, and because I have said buy a house to John 7 times in the last 2 minutes, Facebook is like, hey, you want to buy a house? Here's some information. I click on that ad and I get the information. The algorithm sends me an email from my bank. They're actually having first time homebuyer seminars right now. And the algorithm's like, hey, your bank actually can help you get a house. And Instagram is like, hey, instead of buying a house, how about you buy an investment property first? And I take in all of that information. And every time I go to a seminar, watch a video, take notes, watch my credit score rise, pay something off and watch my credit score rise, I am choosing the house
Right.
in every step I take. I'm choosing the car in every step I take. Every time I go test drive a new car, I am choosing a new car. It doesn't automatically show up in my driveway, in my garage, like immediately,
Right.
but I get closer every single time. That's
Yes. Hey,
great.
good morning, Kathy. So that is definitely the magic of choosing. That's choice. And what it is it's actually, and here's the piece about it. The more you do it, it's like going to the gym, the easier it becomes, and things start to show up quicker. So this weekend, I shared with my sister, and it's an energy, and she helped me look at this energy of like, I just know that I'm gonna get this lottery. And I was like, I told my wife, I was like, I don't know. And so she was like, why? She said, you went and bought 2 tickets for a lottery. Start putting your name on it so that you actually slow down the process and claim this, that it's yours. And I know that doesn't sound very much to most people, but it's the small things that you start add up, taking one more step closer to the choice you have. Now, some people are like, "Whoa, John, why would you want to choose that?" Because I can, and choice is that because I can. And what I realize in choice is that the universe, God, Creator, Yahweh, Yahweh, whoever you want to call it, is begging you to ask. You have to make a choice. And then you have to start putting action behind the choices.
The action is the choice.
Yes.
So you can want something until your toes fall off. But if you don't take any steps towards creating that thing from where you are, the steps that you take don't have to be massive, colossal steps.
No.
They can be as simple as writing your name and the word winner on your lotto ticket.
Yeah.
They can be that simple of a step. But if you don't take a step, and then on top of that, here's like an even wilder thing. It's not always going to come from the direction that you're taking steps towards. So I last year was growing my business because I wanted to stay in my house, because staying in my house was easier than packing up my shit and all of these kids and moving somewhere else that I had to find and qualify for. And so it's easier to just grow my income. So that's what I was focused on. Grow your business, grow your business, grow your business, grow your business. And life was like, here's $12,000. And I was like, why, thank you, stimulus check and tax refund. I did not see y'all coming together. Welcome. I
Yeah.
appreciate you both.
Yeah.
And that was the cash that allowed me to keep my house and
Yeah.
lose my mind last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. And it's kind of weird. A lot of people don't realize that it's like I'm in the verge of something going on in my world right now, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And so Tori and I looked at, well, maybe we sell the house, and I was like, that's not light. So universe, what would it take for me to create something out of just mere asking and for it to show up? It's that easy, y'all. I know it doesn't sound like that, and I say that. And when I first heard that, I'm just like Lila. When I first heard Dane and Gary and Access say choice, I was like, that's bullshit. But then when I start actually trying it and shit start, then I realize things start to just show up. Like 10% count. Something happened this weekend. I went to the doctor, had to buy some stuff. I didn't pay the bill for it. It was $750. I had a 10% count. I had the money definitely in my wallet. And I went to get my cash out of my wallet, and my body and my wallet said, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm going to pay this off. Not with this, you're not. But I got to pay this bill. Huh? Do you want to do one more thing? What would it take for you to figure out something else to pay this bill without this? Put this on your card and pay this off within 30 days. I'm like, what? And I'm sitting here, like, it took me about 10 seconds going in my head back and forth with this. And I chose to do it. And I was like, when I walked out the office, I was like, what the fuck just happened? I was just like, and
Your
then
wallet bullied you.
I have, and then, so this is the piece, this is the piece that I'm asking people. So I'm in my career, in my job, that I'm desiring to have a different type of way of creating money. And I had an idea, and I'm gonna put this out here. Some people say, "Oh, you speak something up." This is not just for me. This is for everybody. I desire to teach more consciousness to people working with clients and to work with parents that think they have difficult kids.
Mm.
And when I sat back, I was like, I have 36 years, 37 years of experience of working with young people. 38. I have 38 years of experience of working with young people. And I've been really fucking successful because what I did is I went back and asked for essays for all the young people I work with in the youth group and some of the people on probation I had to send me essays on what I did well and what I could have done different. So I have this information. I was like, man, this is something that people desire to know, especially in this time right now when you fucking want to hang your kids and you think they're bad. Maybe it's you as a parent. And not to beat parents up, but be in a question about what are you doing well? Like Lila always do that. Y'all, I'm gonna keep it 100.
I'm such a
This
bad
motherfucker
mom.
is really that right. Right. And that's the other thing. That's the other thing that so coming out of that, I realized I have a capacity of working with people and having them learn how to transition their choice. So I asked the universe that, and it was like, we've been wanting you to do a project or something or a class like this. What would it take? And I was like, oh, I was like, well, what would that be like to have a class like that and then write something after that? And I was like, that's really light. And I was like, choice. So what is the next thing? I went back and I told what's the name? Let's put this on here, and then I'm gonna get some. So anyway, the weeds in the garden is not important. What it is important is that you learn how to be comfortable with choice. And I tell some of my brothers in the men's group that I'm a part of, choice are like stars in the sky. When one doesn't work, just push one to the side and choose something different. Call it being finicky like a cat. There's no wrongness to this. And when wrongness show up, you're really not in choice. You're in judgment.
Mm, that's deep. I
You're in
love it.
judgment. And can I give them a gift? This is a gift on a Monday
Absolutely.
morning. This is a gift. And I just gave a group of people this gift. And I got this from my buddy Gary Douglas, and I use this all the time. Here's the gift. You write this down. I'm gonna give you a second. Do 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 do. Okay, here you go. Take your pen out. Every time you judge yourself, and I did this yesterday, so I'm telling you, I lost some money yesterday. It costs you $1,000. Okay. Imagine every self-judgment when you wake up, you say your breath stink, you ain't got enough hair, your skin too dark, too light, you too white, too whatever, the breast too big, too small, butt not butt. But you know, I'm a horrible wife, horrible mom, horrible parent. Uh, all those things that show up cost you $1,000 for each one that you do. For every judgment that is put upon you by somebody else, you gain $500, and you're an allowance
Five
to let it
thousand
move through
dollars.
you. So you get it costs you $1,000 for your judgment, and you make 500 judgment, well, $500 for every judgment against you from somebody else.
I like how you keep saying 500. It's 5,000. Is
5,000. Okay, I'll go with 5,000. I like that. Yes. Okay.
it five? Is it
It's 500.
500?
It's 500. It costs you
When did it
more.
change?
Yeah, I changed it because I want people to realize how detrimental self judgment is, and it keeps you out of choice.
I thought, okay,
The
go
money
on.
part of it, I want you to realize with this, you can make it a 5,000. I like that because the more money,
You're
what do you
saying
know?
$1,000 that you lose when
For
you judge
every judgment
yourself,
for yourself,
and you gain 500.
100 for every judgment you receive from others.
Okay, it's
Yeah, so
okay. Go on.
it costs you to judge yourself.
Yes, I get it. Go
It costs
on.
you twice as much to judge yourself as to receive judgment.
Okay.
Because what happens in this experience I'm trying to help people have is that you let go of self-judgment and be an allowance for what people think.
I'm on the
And
same
then
page
you
now.
stay in choice. Because here's the piece about it. The conversations that you and I have, most people would not have that because of judgment of what other people think. Or
You mean these conversations are the ones we don't show them?
the one we don't. Some of these too, but the ones we don't have. Most people. So, and here's the piece about it. Here's I've let go. Yeah, let go. Donna said, "You're right." Twice. Yep, you're right. So here's the piece why I say that. People always look from the outside in at you with their own point of view, and they bombard you with what they think and what they know. Who knows you better than you? It's a choice. Who knows you better than you? Who's inside your head when you wake up in the morning? Like, oh, what's your dreams, your hopes, you go? Who knows that inside of here but you? And the only reason, and then what the other piece I think people do with this is that in this judgment piece with this, I'm getting back away from judgment, but it eliminates your choice because once you allow a judgment to show up from other people think, you shut down your choices.
Or from what you think.
Yeah, yeah. So it's double whammy, and especially gets deeper. Okay, wipe this, y'all. Hold on. Let's wait. Check this out. If it's family members, it's even worse.
Oh, yeah. There's an India Ari line. I can't remember it right now. I'll find it and throw it in the comments. But it's essentially about the people that are closest to you being able to hurt you the worst.
Absolutely. I mean, and and I'm really, you know, I think I sat back and I was thinking about this, sister. I have not really been. I think I got in trouble with my mom and dad that I never allowed people's judgment to really fuck with me. And I did exactly what I wanted to do. I went to school in Europe. I went to work overseas. I went to the seminary. I always did, regardless of what everybody else was doing. If everybody was going this way, I did what, because my dad, when I was younger, said, "Man, I'm gonna whoop your ass if you ever tell me you get in trouble because of what somebody else told you to
Somebody
do."
else.
And
Yeah.
I was like, "Huh?" And that stayed with me. So I just lived my whole life like I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that. And
Yeah.
I was really lucky that at a young age, I was actually kind of forced not to fit in the box of other people's judgments,
That's interesting.
which allowed me to be in choice. Now, do I get it together? Sometimes I'm talking to this sister here, and she knows, like, and she says, "John, because like I said, I guess I'll share this. I made some stupid choices this weekend. Okay. Uh, and that's a judgment. So I'm gonna destroy and uncreate that. What I'm Here's the piece about it. And when I say destroy and uncreate, that to me means let that bullshit go. Simply let it go. Just let shit go. Okay. I shouldn't eat gluten, dairy, or excessive sugar.
let me help your sentence just a smidge because there's some judgment and shouldn't.
Yes.
John's body does
Yes.
not like when he eats gluten, dairy, and
Yeah.
sugar, but he ate it anyway. And now he's sniffing the inhaler and blowing his nose on a
Yes.
consistent basis.
Yes. And so,
And maybe he's gonna go get that supplement I recommended for
yes,
him,
I
and
will
it's
go
gonna
get that
help
something
his
that
nose stop
you recommend, because I do
running.
this natural stuff because I anyway, that's another story. But so the choice to do this was not being, here's the other thing goes with choice, asking a question. Hmm. Choices, I could have made another choice, but what happens to me? I went in automatic pilot, and, and all of a sudden I was just like, my body's like, we didn't want that. We told you we didn't want that. And even to the point that I tasted, like I tested this out, I didn't tell Lila this. So I even took and tested it, and like in my throat, my tongue started to itch. And so I was just like, oh, shut up, tongue. You don't know what the fuck
Oh
you want.
my gosh, shut up, Tom.
So the
That's hilarious.
choice was there, but I overrode the choice on being an automatic pilot of not asking a question.
Did
And how many of
anybody
you
else
guys do
do
that?
that over the weekend, y'all? Because listen, I got in the bed with a banana last night and I was 2 bites in when my body was like, we done told you. We did not want this damn banana. So there is now
Absolutely.
2/3 of a banana in the freezer.
I mean, and our bodies always, and this is the thing about choice. Go ahead.
But I learned.
Yes.
So in the past, I would have eaten the banana because I opened the banana. And the programming of we don't waste food
Whoa.
would have had me ill because these bananas are not small bananas either. I do not know what steroids these bananas are on. These
Banana
are
this big.
humongous
Can't even
ass
get a
bananas.
string. Yeah. Look
It
more
was
like a
literally like
plantain.
this long. Yeah, it was definitely plantain sized. And I was like, I don't know what bananas these are, but my kid is 5'9", so here, get the big ass bananas. If I had eaten that banana, I would have been so miserable. Now, I still, when I don't listen to my body, I am still miserable later.
Yeah. And hence me right now. You know, my is and I and but I got it. And I even was telling Lila, you know, and not some of the people I know Donna's on here. It's just like my aunt Donna's on here. Good morning, Sharon. Uh so I was telling Lila, I don't know if I want to drink alcohol anymore. And this is why I'm saying this. I only like alcohol if it's sweet.
John likes sugar.
Sugar, yeah, it has to be sugary. So all the cocktails that I make, I was thinking like I do tomorrow. I was been doing this cocktail thing with the summer, and I was like, after I finished the show, I did a watermelon one. I did another one. I was like, you know, I don't really want this no more. And I was like, I was going to go this week. I was going to like, hey, I'll make a mocktail or make some lemonade, some homemade. I'm gonna show you how to make some strawberry with lemonade tomorrow or whatever. But what my point of it is I'm really in choice now. And you get it when you get it. I'm 58 years. I'll be 59 in a couple of weeks. And
And
I'm
you
like,
get what you get when you get it.
exactly. Exactly. But but still being in choice helps you get there. So it's never too late to choose.
We're gonna talk more about this in the future because you're about to turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
But the thing about you being 58 and just getting whatever the thing is, you might be just getting the money, the body, the whatever stuff at 58, 59, but you were traveling solo as a tween.
Yeah. 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 True that. And aren't we all?
Remember who
So I
you
guess
are
I'm about to turn
first.
into a pumpkin, y'all. I hate
Yeah.
that we won't this short. Soon, very soon, I will not be under the clock of Multnomah County, but I'm very grateful for being under the clock and having what they provided for the last 32 years. How's it get better than that? Good morning,
Amen.
Kimberly. Missed you in Chattanooga. I was there in class online, and it was a 3 day, not 3 day. It was a BU class that Dane was doing in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it was fucking bomb. Um, um, I feel like I can go on. It's something I want to ask you. Um, Let me ask you this. Would you tell them about how you chose to do the business you're doing and growing your business, and how you've worked your business? Because that was very interesting to me. The point of like asking the business to grow and to start to grow, and then getting the point of like slowing down the business. But remember, we had that conversation, and you just you chose it.
Are you talking about the healing arts or the VA?
VA. Yeah,
I didn't, well, I didn't consciously choose that. I just kept saying yes to what showed up.
that's a choice.
So, well,
That's a
yeah.
choice.
I didn't set out thinking, oh, I want to build a virtual assistant practice. I had someone come to me to have some energy work done,
Yeah.
and she said, "Hey, do you know any VAs?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know a bunch. What do you need?" And she said, "I need somebody to hire some writers for me. It's a resume writing boutique agency." And I was like, "How much is that paying?" And she told me, and I was like, "I can do it. I got time." So I did it, and that turned into 6 years.
Sure. And she's booked, y'all.
And I did it
Booked.
extremely part time until I quit my part time day job, which I did not love, to take a full time virtual assistant client. And that fell through. Like the day I was supposed to start with that client, which I would have been miserable working with.
Yeah.
Life really has my back.
Yeah.
I don't like to admit it, but life takes really good care of me. So I was supposed to start this job at 8:30 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. At 10:28 a.m., the CEO of the company messaged me and said, "I'm so sorry. I just got off the call with the president. And he said for us all to stop working. Nobody's getting paid. Nobody who's worked for the last 2 weeks have gotten paid. And there's no money. There's no payroll. I'm so, so sorry." I guess I'm a full time freelance virtual assistant now.
Wow.
I couldn't go back to my job.
Wow.
She'd already replaced me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
And then I just have magical client after magical client show up. I have done no marketing for this business. Everyone's been word of mouth.
Wow. That's deep.
Yeah. There's more
Well,
to that, and I want to unravel it at some point, but I haven't
yeah.
unraveled it yet.
But I want you guys to get the gist of what we're talking about choice.
I will say, though, the choice in this was to be accessible to my minis. And this was the lowest hanging fruit for that. Also, I hate being told what to do. I hate working a set schedule. I hate working evenings and weekends unless it's something that doesn't feel like work.
Wow.
And I can work in my pajamas.
How's it get better than that? How's it get better than that? Okay, people, I am going to go. I got somebody calling. Uh, until next week, peace and blessings. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Be kind to yourself and others.
Bye,
Deuces.
everybody.
Bye.